Hey everyone, it's J Hood Creative here. Got a few minutes today to show you some big books. We're going to get right to it right after this. Welcome back to the J Hood Creative channel. This is a channel where I try and show off my comic books. A pal, Coach Vic, and Al, my two pals, join me every other Saturday morning, most regularly, where we kind of chit chat pop culture things, movies, TV shows, comics, toys, collectibles, all that geeky stuff we all like. And today I'm going to hit you up with a special video. This is a tag video. Well, they used to call them tag videos. I don't even know if we call them that anymore. Where Biggie Shaq, the Immortal Biggie Shaq, is put out the call, show off your top 50 comics. So I'm going to go through that. Before I do that, hit up the chat, see who's here. We've got Lady Fantastic. Thanks for joining me on this. Happens to be a Friday afternoon, an odd time, but I had to take the day off to work on a project. So Coach Vic, thanks for joining me, man. Late notice. Ben Compton, thanks for joining me. Second Street Marvel, thanks for joining me, man. Lady Fantastic. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a while anyway. And so once he put that call out to do it, I was like, I got to make a point to do this. I've actually had these books pulled for about a month now. So just now getting to it. Oof. Good thing you're staying healthy, though. So here we go. This is a smattering of mostly silver and bronze, a little bit of, well, one example of gold, maybe a few moderns in here. I can't remember. Yeah, there are a few moderns. So we got 50 books. I don't want to take forever. I'm going to just give a couple comments on each one. So I'm going to keep this hopefully to a half hour if I can make it. If not, we'll see what we can do. Anyway, first off, we got to represent Golden Age. So this is one of the few Golden Age books I've got. Captain Marvel Adventures number, that's 68. So I just picked up a couple of those a few years ago, just so I had some Golden Age in my collection. Very affordable. These old faucets, I encourage everyone, pick up some faucets. They're pretty cool. Next, we've got Fantastic Four Annual number 2 with the origin of Doctor Doom. Look at that. I'm not a big Doctor Doom collector, but I know that this and that Marvel Superheroes number 20 or whatever, the big square bound book of his, are creeping up there in value. So if I find them in decent shape, I pick them up. This one is somewhat crunchy, but got it at a good price. Thank you, man. Thank you, ma'am, I should say. I'm used to saying thank you, man. Yeah, man. Ma'am. Look, Kirby, you're going to see Kirby all over this. And speaking of Kirby, tune in to our show tomorrow morning. We're getting a later start at 10:30. We're going to be going over our top 10 Jack Kirby. Man, I'm tongue-tied doing this alone. Jack Kirby creations. There, I got it out. Favorite characters. We're going over 10 of them tomorrow morning at 10:30. Rob Boswell, thanks for joining me, man. Yeah, I had just a few moments. I took a day off today. I'm playing hooky from the job I'm supposed to be doing that I took a vacation day from. I took a vacation day to do a job. Now I'm playing hooky from that job to do this. So we're burning through. Had this in the thumbnail. Fantastic Four Annual number 6. First appearance of Franklin Richards and Annihilus. Uh, this is a book I plan on upgrading soon. It's got some pretty severe spine breaks at the top and bottom, some splits. So I've got to replace that one soon. Next time I come in some money. Hey man, those annuals, that's where it's at. Hooky, yeah. Furthering into my Fantastic Four collection of the Trinity, the Silver Surfer trilogy. I've got number 50 in a pretty crunchy condition. Cover's a little bit faded. It's pretty busted up, but it's complete. Staples are intact, so bare minimum in my collection. This one is a very cool book. Battle between the Thing and Silver Surfer, and this one is especially special to me because this is sent to me by our guy, Comic Kid 84, as an AOK. So about a year ago, 2 years ago. Keeping on the Kirby track. Got that first appearance of MODOK. Picked this up at a show a couple years ago for the tasty price at $25. Got this at another issue of Tales of Suspense for $50. Work them deals, people. Yeah, we don't see as much of him anymore, but he's still around. Strange Tales number 138 with the first appearance of Eternity. Picked this up because what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy said Eternity once in a movie, and I figured, oh, he's coming. And then we saw him in Thor. Hopefully we see him again. Speaking of Thor, and this was another AOK. This one came from Highlight Comic Bro after I begged him for it on accident. But there you go. It's a cool issue. First appearance of this guy right there. I was going to say Living Tribunal. That's not right. Because I'm live, I will not remember that character's name. Help me out. The something. The reason I wanted this is because I want to collect all these kind of godlike villains in the Marvel Universe. Yeah, laugh at the old man. The old man with the memory problems. High Evolutionary. You got my back. Man Cave. Hey, Man Cave. Playing hooky too. So this is a more recent pickup I made. Thor 165 with first appearance of him. Still need to get the Fantastic Four issues with the Cocoon in it to round out my Adam Warlock. And then I actually need to get the Adam Warlock comics, the Power of Warlock series. I have none of those. I need to pick some of those up. Old Wolf. Thanks for joining me from work. I do this. That's what I do. I listen to stuff at work all the time, especially Biggie Shaq. He's on all the time, so just tune in, do my thing, and listen in and see what everybody's sharing. So this is another recent pickup, 168 with the Galactus in the shorts or the skirt, however you want to consider it. So happy to get that one. Then got this one to follow up with the origin of Galactus. No taking a break. Oh, taking a break from calling patients. Yeah, master procrastinator right here. I like watching Biggie when he does the rap stuff or he's got the hip hop going. I'm like, hurry up and get to the good stuff, Biggie. Love you, bro. All right, so yeah, this stuff was kind of leaking from the Silver Age into the Bronze Age. This kind of does the same. This is still Silver Age though, 12 center. First appearance of Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. Now digging deeper, more solidly into Bronze Age. Green Lantern number 76 from Another AOK from this guy right here. Such a generous dude. And look, I freed it. It was able to join all of his pals, like Green Lantern number 87. Picked this up a few years ago. It's got some pressable defects, some cleaning to do, but once I do that, it'll be in really nice shape. I don't know what it is. Everybody keeps talking about, like, what's undervalued right now? What's undervalued? To me, this is one of the most undervalued books going these days. Swamp Thing number 1. You can get this for under a hundo, 50, 75 bucks. I traded for this at a show, and I probably traded way too much value for it, but I never regret it. Love this book. Swamp Thing number 1. Staying in the Bronze Age, getting back to the Kirby stuff. Jimmy Olsen number 134, the first appearance of Darkseid. Debatedly. First cameo. Biggie Shaq, thanks for joining, man. It's all for you. Not really. I was going to do this, but like I said earlier, you kind of put the pressure on. So, Jeffrey Comic-Con Hansen, the Swamp Thing is a cool book. Thanks for joining me, man. It was all good. All right, Kirby, Fourth World. So this was the first Fourth World book, but this is one of the main ones. I still do need to upgrade this one sometime soon. This is probably a mid-grade, probably a 5.5, maybe a 6 on a good day. It's got blunted corners, but other than that, it's pretty clean. New Gods number 1, first appearance of Orion. Probably Light Ray was in there. Highfather. But you can't talk about the Fourth World without talking about Mr. Miracle. I think if we had to pick like one character we'd like to see in a solo movie, maybe it's Mr. Miracle. Orion, he's a little bit more complicated. Mr. Miracle is pretty straightforward. Of course, you got his blushing bride, Big Barda, making her first appearance in number 4? Yeah. These are also really undervalued right now, I think. You get this one's gone up, but since the dip, I don't know much farther down it's come. But get them in the $100 range, something like that. Thanks, Lady F. As I'm looking through this stack of books, I'm coming to realize how much of a Bronze Age collector I am. I was never like, I'm only going to collect Bronze Age, but it seems like that's where the majority of it is coming in. We got the Barda, yep. Grimly undervalued, all that Fourth World stuff. All right. Staying in the Bronze Age, but flipping over to the Marvel side, we've got, and also going back to that Warlock Love, Marvel Premiere number 1. Fairly clean copy, picked up a couple years ago. Not a lot of spine ticks. It's got that one little tear up there. Blunted corners, but otherwise a really nice clean copy in my opinion. Yeah, I think so too, Twiggy. Oh. So this is drawing the ire of everyone. Shut up, man cave. Said no one ever. Oh, Kirby Suck says no one ever. Gotcha. Go get him, Lady F. All right. Sticking to the Warlock. and more specifically, Jim Starlin got the first appearance of what's her name from that movie from Guardians of the Galaxy, Gamora. I've got all these, so I've also got the Pip the Troll, but didn't pull that out. I also pulled this out as kind of a representation of this whole run. I've got the whole Starlin run of Captain Marvel, so now I want to go back and get some of the earlier Gil Kane issues. Getting back to those square-bound annuals, Giant Size Defenders number 3, the first appearance of Korvac. I love the what if the Avengers were defeated by Korvac issue. It's one of my all-time favorite issues. And so now I want chipping away at the Korvac saga and all that. Yeah, Lady F. Korvac. Big books, that's what this is all about, man. GT Key Comic. Thanks for joining me, man. Oh, that your new name. Good to see you around. Picked this up relatively recently too, and this is a real nice copy. Daredevil 168. Let me know, is my camera freezing up every once in a while? It freezes up on my end, but I'm not sure if it goes through or not. White Shadow. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining. I did freeze up. Okay. I know it happens. I can't get to the bottom of why. Okay. Yeah, because it froze up when I was showing that Daredevil book for a minute. All right. Flipping back over to DC, getting a little bit more modern. DC Comics presents number 26 with first appearance of the new Teen Titans. So this would be first appearance of Cyborg, Starfire, and Raven. Changeling joined the team, but he'd been around for a while. Ah, gotcha. Right, cool. So yeah, if I'm a Teen Titan collector, you got to have that issue 2 with first appearance of Deathstroke, Terminator back there in the background. This is a series I want to go back and reread from the beginning, but I want to do it with my buddies Al and Victor. And oddly enough, it's not available in trade right now. It's not in print. All right, so this is a fairly big book right now. People going after it because this guy's got a big signing coming up, but I always thought I had a Todd, but I've got a T in my signed copy of Amazing Spider-Man 300, signed by Todd McFarlane. Got this way back in the first year of Image Comics. They did an event at the Chicago Comic-Con before it was even Wizard World Chicago. Image had a big tent out there in the back. So you would go out and sit under this tent for an hour waiting in line to get autographs by all the Image founders, except for Jim Lee, who I think his wife was having a kid at the time or something like that. Lady F, you're missing out. You got to go back and get those early Teen Titans issues. Kirby runs circles around Schomburg. Only covers all these 6 second seat. Gotcha, man. Comic Head 84. We were just talking about you, man. Showed off that FF, was it 55, 51, 55 you sent me. Let's see. Everyone's welcome here. Everyone. Thanks, man. Getting into the YouTube community, like I was outside looking in, I was like, okay, why are people talking about NYX3 and crap like that? I got that book, or ASM 300. I got that book. And then I started comparing, like watching everybody. I'm like, there are some of these books I should go out and get. And so here I am. This is one I had, but the first appearance of Hellboy in X-Men. And got a little scribble on there by Mike Mignola. several years ago. This is a book that I'll put up for sale once I get it graded. Heir of the Empire #1. I have generally no interest in Star Wars outside of live action. I don't care about the comics, really. I don't care about the cartoons. And I know a lot of the TV shows are really referential to the Clone Wars cartoon and stuff like that. I'm like, I get it. But if it's not live action, it's not canon to me. He's a really nice dude. I got a sketch from him too. Paid $35 for a sketch from Mike Mignola. This is in like 1985 or 1995, something like that, right around the time he was starting Hellboy. Another big modern book picked up for cover price because I was collecting Invincible Iron Man at the time. I wasn't a big Bendis fan, but I had Mike Diodato doing the art, so it was pretty cool. So I lucked out into that. This is a series where it's another artist that I really like. That I would have bought this for the art if I'd run into it. Then I had to pay a lot because everybody's chasing it. Young Avengers #1. I think this book's been going down a little bit because I think it's just kind of out of everyone's headspace right now. But I'll be back up there once they do the Young Avengers movie. Of course, I got the #6 with Lady Hawkeye right there, where she officially becomes Hawkeye, I believe is how it goes. Just got a Batman cover done by Mignola with the bats and the yellow background. I forget the number. Wow, you got the original art for that? That's cool. Thanks, man. That's what everybody says. Or is it this one? Getting a lot of new characters introduced in Strange Academy. I mean, who doesn't like Doyle Dormammu? I mean, just the fact that he's a character, he's a thing. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, you're right. Young Avengers is going to come to screen a lot sooner than Strange Academy. Comic book G-Spot. Good to see you. Yeah, that's a big difference. All right, and then the last in the stack is another modern key, somewhat infamous in my collection. Again, I gotta send this one out for grading. Let's see, do we see any spine ticks? No spine ticks. Of course, it's in the bag, but what's that one right there? That'd pass. 9/8 white pages. We shall see. I need to get paid for another painting. That's where I'm at. Get another painting sold, and I will have my first CGC submission done. Glad to see that everybody's reporting on these new quicker turnaround times, because that's one of the things I always regretted having to deal with, or didn't regret, but was not looking forward to it. Hey, I sold all of them with that one. I'm with you. I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah, Man Cave heard that one's a 9/8. I hope so. Let's see here. We got no regrets. Let's not live with regrets. All right, so this is the last of my stack. So far, I haven't shown any Batman or X-Men, and those are all my favorite characters, things to collect. And I actually have relatively few Batmans pulled. I actually had to, you can see, I had to pull some of the stuff off my wall for my Neil Adams memorial. I need to change that wall sometime soon. It's been up there for, well, since he died. Right there. Speak of the devil and she will appear. So got the Detective 359. Oh, you tell me what condition it is. I'm guessing a 4 or 5 in that range. No other serious defects than the spine ticks you see, really. Let's see if we can get a good read on the corners. Slightly blunted, a little bit of color rub, a few color breaks here and there. I'm not going to get graded though. I don't need to know. I got no genius to give. We can do that sometime soon. Yeah, that's what I go for, especially any higher value books like that. As long as it looks all right and price is right, I'm going to go for it. Barber is in the collection. Here's another good Batman book to own. 251, another Bronze Age beauty. Picked up this clean looking copy off eBay several years ago. So I say several, it's probably like 3 years ago. Again, all it's got is a few spine ticks. The rest of it's in pretty good shape. It does have some weird, like a weird row of what might have been like press rollers or something like that kind of put some bars in it. They'd press out though. I'm not going to post that Lady F. Dark Knight Returns, signed by Frank Miller. Historically, I've been a big autograph collector. Instead of spending money at shows, I would spend my time standing in line for autographs like that. But I speaking of regrets, I have a few books I regret getting signed. I'll show those in a few minutes. But that Batman 625 or 635, an old man cave was interested in this. I brought it up on what should I get graded when I did that show, and yeah, I gave this a closer look. It's not going to be anywhere near a 9.8. It'll probably be in the 9s, but it's got several non-pressable defects. And I've also got the Detective 880, which may be a 9.8, probably a 9.6, I'm guessing. I'm getting to the point with Batman where I'm like, there are certain Batman books I really want, and then there's a lot of stuff that I've got that I really don't need anymore. So I've got like a book of Batman, or a book of Batman. I've got a box of Batmans, a short box that I need to get rid of. That one, yeah, that's a new. I'd give it a new. Okay, then getting into my X-Men collection. X-Men related. So here's a regret. That's supposed to say Rob Liefeld. So I could have lived without that on this book. And that was actually one of the last autographs I got, really. It was later in my autograph collecting career. I thought I'd go a long time without it and finally got it, and then I regret it. More regrets. This is a really nice copy of Wolverine #1, one of my favorite comics. Not thrilled with the blue autograph by Claremont up there. And then, as much as I appreciate Joe Rubinstein's work, and I really wanted to get his autographs or get his autograph on a couple books, he does not have an appealing looking autograph by any means. So he's relatively heavy handed with it, I think. Look, we can't all live like Rob Boswell. I mean, I can aspire to Rob Boswell, but no one can live like Rob Boswell lives. Yeah, usually he signs in that space above the hair. And like fills in that whole spot with his name, and it's even more ugly. Love you, man. Remember I sung about, yeah, I got that NYX number 3. So this one might grade out in a 9.6 or 9.8, and then I went and got Josh Middleton to scribble on it. So, and it's unwitnessed, so it's going to have to be, well, I guess both companies are doing red labels now. Or, no, gold. It used to be, CBCS used to do red labels. Now they do gold labels for signed. So that's maybe a little bit more appealing. But if I got this sent this to CGC and got a green label, it's a green cover, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, having people sign in silver is much better because it's always going to be more legible on the books, especially than like blue Sharpie. Let's do blue Sharpie over blue and white and everything else. It does need a great prestige label. Early X-Men, early first appearance of the Sentinels. So X-Men number 14. Acceptable copy. The major flaws, it's got a tape pull right there. But going back that early or that substantial a book for the price I got it at, take it all day long. But I write the prices on that I pay on the back. So I was just, how much did I pay? $210 shipped. This one, beautiful copy. Like so beautiful, too beautiful for me. Like I gotta get it graded and sold so I can get other books. So yeah, this was about the Sentinels. First Bolivar Trask too. So I got this book right before everything started spiking, and I got it when it was an auction. People were sleeping. $140. My comic shop had one in this raw, same condition. They wanted $700 for it. I was like, "You're out of your mind." Of course, I buy on the cheap. I'm looking for deals. But yeah. Sleepy Reader. Thanks for joining me, man. We're just past the half-hour mark, but we're almost done with my 50 big books for Biggie Shaq. Keeping on the X-Men track. Number 58. This is another book I need to upgrade. It's got, see that line right there? That is not a crease. That is a very shallow cut in the cover. And I have no idea what would have caused it. I bought it that way. And it's not the only one. It's got others. I have no idea how it would have gotten that way. It doesn't go all the way through the page. So it's the same as a color breaking crease, or well, technically they break color, but they're so fine you don't see it. But yeah, so this is another one I need to upgrade. That, and I also need to get the rest of that Neil Adams run on X-Men. So this is the kind of book I like to find. This was the first book that where YouTube had influenced me. Okay, you need to go after some bigger books. So I sold some vintage toys I had to Al, actually, my guy on Saturday mornings. And I went out and got this copy. It's a pretty beautiful copy. It's got slightly blunted corners on all 4 corners. and that's the only significant wear or damage on it. So it's a really nice presenting copy, and I'm super happy to have it. This is a book where it's like, uh, do I really want to spend $200 on a comic book? So that was a battle. It took me about 6 months to kind of figure out, okay, what's the price I want to pay? What will I find for the price I want to pay? And finally landed that one. Yeah, I picked up that second copy. I was gonna flip it, and then, like, I think COVID struck and, like, the world came to an end. I'm like, "I just gotta get my money back out of this book," and I'm happy it landed with you, Lady F. But I do regret selling it. I wish I would've been brave enough to hold on. Another book I need to upgrade. I don't know what this grade out at, maybe a 4 or 5. X-Men 129, first appearance of Kitty Pryde. So this is replacing this one is going to be pretty high up on my to-do list next time I come into money, quote unquote. So we got that. Okay, I showed you my top undervalued book. I think this is the top overrated book. I don't get the appeal of this character, but I know that people of a certain age that grew up with the X-Men cartoon love Gambit. So this is the one I bought off the shelf. Pretty much all my X-Men I bought off the shelf back to issue 148. So paid cover price for all them keys. Okay, I'll let the market decide that. Still better than 14. Yeah, the 129 had the first Emma Frost too. All right, so I'm down to my two last big books, and you can probably imagine what they might be. You know me. So we've got that issue of X-Men 94 I picked up. Again, I'm not sure what this would grade out at, but for the price I paid, it was nice enough for me. I knew I needed to have it to fill my run. I had the cash on hand, so I went for it. And then, you know what's coming next, just in time to claim. Giant size X-Men 1. So yeah, if you guys know me, you know I own this by now. One of the books that was definitely the by far the most I paid for a comic. I am hesitant to ever have to pay that again, but I am definitely happy to have that in my collection. What other books would I consider going after nearing this? A Hulk 181, obviously. Um, I'm priced out of an X-Men one, maybe X-Men 4 eventually. If I get to the point where I'm like, I gotta complete my X-Men run except for issue 1, I'll have to pay quite a bit for a number 4 probably. But yeah, that's it. My top 50 books for you, Biggie Shaq. White Tiger or White Shadow, I'm sorry. Banger alert. Big Biggie sent me a necklace. I won one of his prize drawings on his show, and he made me a necklace, and I had him put Bronze Age banger. I meant to bring it home, and I left it in my office at work. So I got to show that off sometime soon. Uh, I don't have 180, and that's another book that I'm like, if I'm going to get it, I probably got to get it soon, or I'm never going to afford it. So that's something I am giving good consideration right now. Uh, nice. Thanks, Ben. Lady F, I appreciate you. Jeffrey Comic-Con, thanks for stopping in. I'm happy to do it, Biggie. Like I said, I was meaning to do it, and then you kind of put out the call. We want to see everyone do this. So I figured, well, Biggie says so. That means I got to make it happen. So I was happy to do it. But hey, I got to run. I got to get back to the drawing board. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Remember, J Hood Creative Channel. I remind everybody, keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, then comic books. We'll see you next time, guys.
Whenever there's a crime, who's always there to fight it? Whenever there's a wrong, who's always there to right it? When someone breaks the law, who do people holler for? It's the bad